cold. I'm also going to be utilizing Pinterest. Pinterest is a really good resource whenever you don't really know. I don't know. You okay, Bella? Okay. I'm going to be utilizing... You okay? For some reason, Procreate just makes sense to me. I'm also going to be utilizing Pinterest. Pinterest is a really good resource whenever you don't really know what you... Oh my god, what is wrong with her? Are you okay? Okay.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I created the mood board for this space. This will be my next video, and I'll show you how I transform my bedroom. I kind of like to work with mood boards a little bit differently. I like to create two separate ones. One being kind of like an inspirational mood board. I'm grabbing different images, color stories, textures, just so I can work with the overall mood of the space first. And then once I finalize that, I then transform it into the actual mood board that I then use to create spaces. So from that mood board, I'll grab or I'll utilize to then purchase furniture, or like what paint I'm gonna use for the room, or what bedding, so forth. That's the one that I use to then solidify the space. So if that interests you, keep on watching. I'm gonna be using Pinterest and Procreate on my iPad. I've never really used Photoshop, so Procreate for some reason just like works in my brain. I can put the two together and create something using that. So I'm gonna try to keep it really simple. It's gonna kind of be a long video just because I don't know, I just work so across the board, just like with different things. So, but in the meantime, I'm gonna be hanging out with my dogs here. This one in particular has kind of had a rough last couple days. He's diabetic, so he had to go to the ER because his blood sugar came out really low. And this morning he got a little sensor implanted on the side of his stomach just so we could monitor him. So he's gonna be lazy for a couple more hours, but it's fine with me. I like being with the pack, just being lazy and doing nothing, watching TV. So anyways, enough rambling on. I'm gonna voice over all of the stuff that I'll be working on just because, like I said, it might be a long video, but hopefully you guys like that. So stay tuned. Let's begin. So in this board, you'll see a little bit of everything. I know it's called transitional minimalism and it's mostly interiors, but I honestly pin a little bit of everything. So anything from rooms to color stories to artwork to potential DIYs. I even sometimes pin fashion. But like I said, this board is kind of all over the place, and I kind of like to do that just so that I always constantly have inspiration. What I really like doing is, especially whenever I have a lot of downtime, so like either when I'm watching TV or maybe even my commute to work, I like to continuously pin random things to this mood board because whenever I don't feel inspired, this is where I go to find inspiration. And like I said, it's a little bit of everything, so I would suggest you guys doing that if you're wanting to build just a collection of images that inspire you. Just do this whenever you have some free time. Just continuously pin random things. Maybe like you kind of see there's some like potential DIYs that I'm thinking about. Just like I said, it's just like an inspirational, like brainstorming collection of images that I will then use to create things from. That was good. I knew for a while I wanted to work on my bedroom, so I was paying a lot of bedroom inspiration, but I'm also really inspired by architecture and art especially. Oh, sorry, my dog's gonna shake. A lot of these wall treatments were really inspiring me. I wasn't really sure if I was going to incorporate anything like that in my design, but I knew that I was really gravitated towards like wall treatments, alternative headboards, stuff like that. I also knew that the color palette was going to be pretty neutral, so a lot of white, especially black, and then wood accents. I didn't really know if there was going to be any other like colorful accents, but I knew that those colors were going to be what grounded the space. I also really like using Pinterest whenever I'm having a hard time manifesting what I really want to do, whether I'm not really sure what the vibe is or like what the color story, but like I have an image of what I'm thinking of creating. Pinterest is a really good resource for that. It kind of just shows you a whole bunch of like collection of images that then kind of correlate with each other. So I really like Pinterest for that. It's kind of just like a visual brainstorm, and that's what I really like creating with my first mood board. It's just like a brainstorm of ideas that I then turn into an actual mood board. You see here I'm searching my fashion Pinterest board because sometimes I really find that fashion really does inspire interior spaces. These are the images that I am going to use as a jumping off point to then create an inspirational mood board. I really like the language between the concrete and like the stone and the wood and how they relate to the fabrics. I also really like this color story of like really dark blacks with wood accents and a lot of white. So we'll then use this to create another mood board. The main image that I used comes from my main Pinterest board. I really liked the really dark background with the wooden headboard. I also really like this color story of like the really muted neutrals with pops of black. That really spoke to me. And for some reason, I'm also really into linen textures right now. One of my favorite things about Procreate is that I can draw like I normally do in real life. Wow, I don't know if that made sense. But I like using my Apple Pencil with Procreate because I feel like I have more control. I love doing random paint strokes and altering the colors and all that. And I usually go through different reiterations of what the mood board will actually look like. I usually play around with the image so I can find something that I'm happy with. On some of these mood boards, like I think for this one, I made it fairly quickly, but I usually go through different reiterations of what it could look like. You can kind of see here, I am adding different color strokes behind images. I'm even thinking of maybe making like an arch above this linen image. I just keep messing with the image till I find something that I'm happy with. I'm now creating the mood board that I'm going to utilize to design this bedroom. I love how striking the black is in my inspirational images, so I want to keep 3/4 of the wall down black and then white will be above. And I think it's going to make this bedroom really cozy. I'm also finding images online, just stock images of potential furniture that I will be buying for this space. I don't need it to necessarily look exactly like what it will look like at the end, but I just need an idea, just so I can visualize the space. I added that wooden headboard behind the bed because I know that I will be making that. And these sconces from Article, I've honestly have been looking at them for years, and now I'm finally going to be utilizing them in a space. For these stock pillows, like I don't really care what they look like. I just need to, again, visualize what the space is going to look like. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not looking for exact things that I will be purchasing. I just really want to make sure that the mood and the vibe that I'm going for actually makes sense in the end. And that's what I really am trying to create. It's just a final image that my brain can visualize. And if for some reason something doesn't work, I will then change it. But for the most part, this is just like a preliminary stage. You can always add and subtract, like this is not the final hearsay. At this point of the design process, I'm not really going to websites or stores and actually finding the items that I will then be purchasing. At this point, I just want to materialize what I've been thinking about. I want to make sure that all of the things that I've been thinking about, so all these textures, colors, I want to make sure that they all play well together. So this is what I'm trying to focus on in this mood board. It's not exactly going to look like this at the end, but it will give me a pretty good idea if I need to change something or if something is working. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. I'm assuming that if you clicked on this video, you're thinking of creating a mood board for your space. And it doesn't have to be this complicated. You could just print out images from your computer of things that you like, textures, mood boards, different color stories, pin them up to a board, and then see what kind of story that creates, and you can just add and subtract images so you find a mood that you really like. So you could do it that way, but for me, I like having a digital copy just because then I could have it on my phone, have it on my iPad, and then whenever I'm out and about, if I'm working on a space and I'm really needing, I don't know, like a piece of furniture or pillows or something like that, I can then reference that mood board to then help me make those decisions. But again, it does not have to be this complicated, it just works for me. If you like this video, if you like what I'm making, subscribe, like this video. I will continue to create design content, more DIYs, room transformations. So the video that I first posted on my channel is doing really well, so thank you for that. If you have any comments, concerns, leave them down below. I will definitely get back to you. In the meantime, just stick with me. You will get more of this, more dogs, preferably not sleeping, but I hope you're having a good day. I will talk to you soon. Alrighty, bye-bye. If you create add into